and that equalizer to burn down the wave is big. So I do think that Xiaohu might be pressured to do something, and if I'm Xiaohu, I'd start to look to trade. Just use the health bars that you have. Oh, nice dodge.
Yeah, Wenzhong is about to get his Ignite, and there's the exhaust and the Ignite. Equalizer not going to land. Xiaohu trying to kite back desperately, but he's running out of HP. A couple more autos. It was close, but Wenzhong able to claim the 1v1 win.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's LPL 2025 Split 1.
Team is at the top of the scorebug here with the ever-present one being First Blood, and we might just see it as both junglers make their way to the lane. Xiaohu under threat, going to have to flash over the shuriken from Saber. Here's the response from Tian, going for Wenzhong, who is way too far up with his wave pushed in. Going to wait out the flash. The Vault Breaker going to land. Nice. Great patience for the Weibo Gaming jungler, and one flash secures First Blood. And the first feat of strength here for Weibo, but the bottom lane's getting handsy as well as Hong. Full flashes in, does not stun up Wako, and now the Ashlows are really starting to stack. Hong should fall to lethal tempo, and the Braum stun is going to force Light to cleanse out himself. We'll be able to get back towards that turret, but will he find the trade? The piercing arrow falls just short.
With the Denting Blows passive, gets through Dragon quite quickly. So I think it just makes sense based on where the prio is for each for squads. And so far, we'll see if Ultra Prime can do anything with these first set of grubs. Grub's still very determinative of how you can push in the meta in the mid game, and I think that with the first three, all three going over to Ultra Prime, eyes on Weibo to see how they can test that second spawn of grubs. It really isn't a question of if you get the first three, it is how, as you are forced to respond because 5-6 grubs, again, at this level, we've seen teams do way too much with that. Whoa. Saber's going to follow up on Xiaohu. He's down flash.
Mid. Oh, Cease and Desist going to follow the flash there from Saber. The Cyclone gets the knockup, but Xiaohu cannot follow his jungler, so despite the flash not getting him away from Tian, it actually just did not have the assets to do so. Kill going over as well to Junhao, so starting to get some gold lead building up here for Ultra Prime.
Do want to credit Junhao a little bit on that, as we're going to see an answer here from Xiaohu. Saber.
One of the LPL legends right on time. Should have find this kill onto Saber. Should with a couple more stacks of that passive. Why not take it safe and get it done with the auto attacks? There's Xiaohu on the board is the Weibo Gaming bottom lane next to Tian. Level that bottom lane advantage for Ultra Prime. With a snap of a fingers, Weibo are back in control.
I got Rosie Love's flash too, with Wenzhong taking 2 tower shots, but a lot of time being spent topside. That will be one grub secured, and we have to engage.
I'm going to go in, only going to strap the Braum. We have a TP coming in the background. Rosilov able to get back towards his AD carry. Now Hong is just caught in the middle, and Junhao is going to execute him with the Cyclone. In with the Cease goes Tian. The turn with Xiaohu here. Tons of damage dropped through, but the Akali drops into the Shroud. Going to try perfect execute. Gets the Braum stun on the Tian. Down he goes. And now Xiaohu's got no help until Breathe flies in with the public execution. Gets one of his own. Wenzhong able to trade out the AD carry as the split fight manifests itself, but Saber is too far away from his solo lane ally, forced out of the river, and Xiaohu has no intention of stopping the chase here. The Shroud should be enough for Saber to escape to safety, but
wasn't really big enough for Weibo to win. It was really Breathe and Xiaohu to the rescue with these TPs that helped make sure they were able to get a slight advantage for themselves to go back to live and the fights continue.
Ooh, Ash Arrow down on Tian. Gets knocked up by the Braum. The power of the Freljordi and ultimates holding the Weibo jungler at bay as the Vault Breaker himself out to safety. As Ultra Prime are going to grab that second dragon. They are now one epic monster away from grabbing that first goal. And like you talked about, Cubby, if they get back up towards those grubs because Junhao secure.
Just curious they didn't try and deny these grubs at all, because that would have been really big for setting the timer back.
Wenzhong, trap set, ultimates committed, all ultimates, and Wenzhong gets popped, unlike Casante's usually, and that should give Weibo enough control to make sure no Monster Slayer goal here for Ultra Prime.
I was not expecting that damage to go down on Casante, but that is, I guess, to help deal with Mbessa throughout these fights. Can walk it out with Ashe, but that's tough with all the mobility that Mbessa has and all the pressure that the rest of Weibo's composition is going to put down onto a champion like Ashe. So, if Weibo wants to pull the trigger. Xiaohu's already roamed up, so that's big for Weibo. Here we go.
Does go in. They get the Season Assist down, and they have Wako marked. No Glacial Fissure will save that Ashe. as Wako drops off. Onezhang going to teleport in. Response coming as well here from Breathe. But Tian is holding his own. In flies Saber with the perfect execution. Does get Tian down, drops into the Shroud, gets himself a second kill on the recast as well. Onezhang on the all-out form trying to really dole out the damage, but Breathe is just way too powerful. Who's got more dashes in tone? It's Breathe and the Ambessa, as Weibo are able to turn the end of the fight and give themselves a 4-3 lead.
I mean, again, looking at this draft, what can deal with Ambessa on early in this fight? Breathe gets pretty much nothing when he enters to contest him. As I thought Saber's going to make it close with that close fight on the Xiaohu, but we have to get out of that replay because Rift Herald is being taken. Weibo don't have their R's back up yet, but they do secure the Rift.
Tian flies in, hits the back of the eye smite for more than enough damage, so he grabs that Herald, and now we are as close as we possibly can, Cubby, to either team.
Weibo on top of the their second dragon, as we do have a Hex Tech Rift for this game,
which is one of the more coveted ones, as Shelly's going to get her crack at the mid lane turret. Weibo are just gobbling up everything they can on the map right now that's important. Tier 1 mid lane turret down, feats of strength soon to follow, and the dragon stacking, spicing a little bit of a 2K gold lead.
For Weibo to really think about pulling the trigger. Again, at this level, one or two cooldowns being missing, or just a chunk, the likes of which Saber just felt from Xiaohu. That could be enough legitimately to start this, and even if you pull off of it, like, you're at least going to get a TP out of Saber, who has to reset sideways. So, yeah. That said, at the moment, Weibo thinking a little bit more about this bot side control, as they're going to take down their last outer turret. And again, if Ultra Prime start this, we're finding for the majority of the games we've seen early season, whoever secures that does win the game. I believe, again, in solo queue, it's like 81, 80 time to respond if Ultra Prime were to start it. And then you have to deal with all the damage that that objective does if you don't set it up well. I like that read a lot from Weibo.
Ooh, Xiaohu looking for a deadly flank. Onezhang going to find it out, but maybe a bit too late. Xiaohu going in with the invis, drops between row, gets a ton of damage down onto those carries, but Tian cannot finish the kill. Wako lips himself away, and now Xiaohu's going to have to flash himself out of that beautiful flank. It all lined up so well, but the bucket baked off the rim at the end.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to the fight from Weibo. They threw the important art keys.
We're in a rare situation for League of Legends here. Oh, we were so close to it, actually. Dragon falls early. We were about to be at a point where 3 epic monsters were going to be
feel pretty good about the game, especially with Hexol being on Soul Point. I'm kind of wondering if that's their approach for this one. I'm kind of surprised Ultra Prime hasn't started it yet.
Tian, hope those Krugs were worth it. My word, do Junhao and Saber make sure Tian does not get away with it. So with a Weibo Gaming pick ward on top of it. So
Hong's at a great angle.
Hong looking for that big row crash down we've seen. Hits and misses from him so far as he steps up. Gets the glimpse of first round of Rosie Love early. So maybe that'll give Weibo enough confidence to go for the play. Breathe going to not land the public execution, and now he's got 5 members of Ultra Prime on top of him, and he'll get picked off on the flank. Should be enough for Ultra Prime to just reset and take another crack at Otacon, who does go back up to full HP.
I really like that from Hong. He got Braum out for free. Braum was looking for any animation to cancel. Hong just autoed, so he got the R, but Breathe not in position. Gets taken down after the R whiffs, and now Otacon's at a real threat. The biggest threat for Ultra Prime's off the map.
Oh, Junhao still has Cyclone. He immediately commits to on Light. The arrow comes through just on time after the cleanse. Light is down. Tian going in to lock through Wako, and both 80 carries are going to drop. So who's going to step up in the fight now? Tons of low health bars on Ultra Prime's side, but Xiaohu cannot get in to finish them off, and it's a big-time multi-kill for Saber. Otacon, still below 2,000 HP, will be secured by Junhao. Knockback on the Tofo strikes from Onezhang, and he's going to make another 1v1 win with Xiaohu, this time from the top lane to in front of the Baron. What a play. Ultra Prime grab control of game 1.
Wako is down. This might be a slow Baron. I think it's risky because Breathe's here, but you know what? They have the res up, so might as well try and use it. And everything's come collapsing down here for Weibo in the last couple of minutes. Is Breathe going to get frisky?
Remember, he cannot earn a lot of gold out of this if he finds these kills. Getting the dashes up, tons of damage. Saber's still up. The GA's available for all of these Ultra Prime members. But Breathe does accomplish the goal, stops the slow Baron take, and maybe halts it entirely for the next couple of minutes.
Honestly, that's really big because you can see Hong's trying to mess with tempo here. If he gets to cancel any of these recalls, then Dragon is actually on the table. The soul spawns here in 5 seconds, and Weibo, they're looking for it.
Lot of big summoners down. Some ults still coming back up online here. Got to use them if you are Weibo Gaming, but this is just gone. Glacial Fissure is late. The smite comes through. Junhao does not get in. Arrow's going to land onto Breathe, who does have the Hextech Soul now, and just like the start of last fight, is going to sacrifice himself to the might of Ultra Prime, who will likely maybe use this a turn right towards Baron.
I gotta say, I feel like Ultra Prime really need to get things here because even with how strong Otacon is, I would not trade this and this buff and the lack of use of this buff for a free Hextech Soul on this Weibo team. This is something where Weibo is going to have this buff for the rest of the game. And the amount of space that you can buy using Hex Soul, especially in 2 comps where the space is this low, like there's a lot of lack of range on each side, it can be really valuable for just being able to space things at this level. That said, Barons though, and it looks like Weibo are just fishing around for the steal because they do not want to mess with this buff, so it will be a free Baron going over Ultra Prime.
They do cash in as the revive will drop off pretty soon here, but good work from the damage dealers of Weibo to get some turrets on the back end. They actually cash in a ton of gold here. Knock down mid tier 2.
If him and Hong were able to pitch, it could have been big, but the fact that Breathe was caught out of that time really hurt any and all chances Weibo had for taking this fight.
Here's the combo I really like. Junhao still has that Cyclone. White is fishing to step up, but it's going to pop into the clone here, dash through with the Braum stun. The cleanse comes out early, and Wako, I'm going to give him the credit for the intended arrow position. Hits it perfectly.
Now, it did step a little bit too far off in the back half, but still Wako taking down Light, and with Ambessa not there, that's all Ultra Prime needed to win those fights and skirmishes. They've got themselves at least a gold lead. Baron is on their shoulders, buffing up these waves. We'll see what they can get, because, again, I still feel like they're down in this game. They don't have the scaling to, get through something like Ambessa later on, and Varus is going to hit so hard. Feats of Strength in the inventories down for Weibo with Hex Soul, so it might be an even gold game, but I feel like with the champions and the buffs, the extra power that Weibo has in their inventory, they're still the ones that are stronger in this one.
A lot less damage as well as Wako commits to the Hullbreaker Ash, which I did not know started becoming a thing. I chose to ignore
Jinx, personally.
Okay.
In this one.
It hurt me, so I had to break it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's... I mean, you get a lot of stats from it. And buffing up the cannon minions, especially when you have Baron going on, too bad.
Whoa. Ton of damage down coming out from Xiaohu. Onto the clone, though. Junhao can escape back between worlds. Will not lock on the Ultra Prime up. Hog goes in, gets a huge stun to set up Xiaohu's damage. That is the poetry you expect from the Weibo Gaming support. Steps in, gets the game-defining fight win for Weibo 3-0.
I don't think Weibo can end off this, but any hopes of the Baron being big for Ultra Prime go out the window, and what a great fight execution coming out from Weibo. Xiaohu, he did use the flash that time around to set that up, but the follow-up this time around, Breathe was in the fight from the start. You can see the damage that Ambessa puts down in this game. Again, just way too much for Ultra Prime to deal with.
And now they're going to barrel down towards the Ultra Prime base here as Hong is looking for more. Demolish stacks, minion wave brought up. Down goes the inhibitor turret. Wanzhong and Junhao, there's just nothing they can do. They don't have the damage behind them to even stop Weibo as they'll take the first inhibitor.
Yeah, take another look. Again, Hong, Breathe, in really good spots. We did set up a lot. In this one, jungle support duo, making sure that you're finding good engages. We've seen some decent moments from Rossula playing Peel on this Braum, but this time around, it was Weibo's jungle support duo. Way too good of a start to this fight between Hong, that initial chunk they found onto Junhao, and then Tian going in to wrap the fight up against Wako. Really, really well done by Weibo's jungle support duo.
It's been anything but smooth sailing for one of the big contenders of the LPL this split, but they are certainly back in control here. Have wave control obviously coming through that bottom lane. They can look to play for that ever game-defining Elder Dragon. It's about a minute and a half up. Got to think that's the next objective on both these teams' minds.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see Weibo actually even hovering the top side of the map here. I know that they were trying to make sure that Breathe can get a reset in. Yeah, okay. One more reset. They're going to manicure these waves as both teams will head back and fight.
Turret puts Ultra Prime in a pretty tough position to answer.
Yeah, I mean, the super creep spawning bot, best case scenario here for Weibo in terms of going for this Elder Dragon, as you can see the setup they're playing out for this. It just starts with that wave, right? Get that wave in first, spot Ultra Prime, then work your way up to connect with mid. And yeah, Weibo's done this very well. You can see Ultra Prime. Their only choice now is to fight through bot and try and get these supers in to actually pincer around Weibo, who have already taken full control and even feeling frisky enough to start hitting this dragon a little bit as Breathe.
Breathe and Wonjong in their own 1v1, but the engage is found with the snap of a fingers, and Junhao is exploded. Into the backline goes Saber. He takes a huge trunk, trying to get rid of Light. Will get it with the Storm Surge, but Breathe is unleashed on the front side. Dashes galore, damage galore. There is nothing that Wako and company can go as he drops into the GA, but is only going to protect him from the gray screen for mere seconds. Weibo, rocky in the early game, couple of fights that didn't look too good, but when push comes to shove, when it's time for the big bad fights, it's Weibo and Xiaohu to step up, ace, and game 1 win inbound.
And Xiaohu had some big engages too, but man, if Breathe was in the fight and set up for success, those fights were over whenever Breathe got going. This Ambessa, throw a Hex Tech Soul to add to the stickiness this champion already has to others. I really feel like Breathe was the one who made or broke this game for Weibo. A couple fights where Breathe wasn't functional, were the fights where Weibo struggled when Breathe was Ambessa. Too good of a pick and too well played by Breathe to be toppled in this game.
Leads his team in kills. They start cooking early on this Lee Sin. Not a lot else is going to happen.
For another 8 seconds here, but Tien not on the right side of the map. And we'll see the Dragon wherever Light and Hong went. That would be where they decide to play the next objective, but with how hard mid is winning, they're just able to push Saber between both turrets and make sure that those 6 grubs go over to themselves for free. So I think they're happy to sack both Dragons to find the 6 grub advantage. And man, when we've seen good teams get 6 grubs, their ability to push the map down and really snowball the game in their favor, it's made it so that 6 grubs almost feels like just the first cut of what is a death sentence. And I want to see if Weibo is still able to do that.
Oh, that nice flash does not get away from the Pop Blossom. On the edge is able to find the kill, but with a good root and the help of that powered up turret, Hong can train out Junhao. So we'll go 1 for 1. First blood does go to Ultra Prime. They grab that goal, but it's immediately answered by Weibo as Breathe finishes off that top lane tier 1.
And that's big because each team at 2
Hello,
monster
Saber.
objectives.
Goodbye, Saber. That's the Dion Lee Sin special.
Yeah, I mean, that's just cashing in on the lead that Xiaohu's had this entire time, too. Really well done is Tien's dead. Okay.
You know that's Galio TPing in the taunt. I mean, I guess they went all out for that mid-tier 1 turret. They do get it in the background with plates, but that was a freebie kill back to Wonjong. Oh, hello. Breathe wants his revenge for his jungler. He teleports behind him. Remember, you can teleport to minions now with that basic form, but a good taunt from Wonjong and the tankiness into the AP bruiser.
That said, the response from Weibo afterwards, it's 2-2, and you can see they already took down 1 turret on their own, so Breathe, he's freed up. He's joined his bot lane, and this is 6 grubs at work, man. This is why 6 grubs feels like a death sentence, because these turrets just melt.
Man, we almost got the 15 for 15 on plates. We might still get it with the grubbies, even despite the stolen equalizer. Ultra Primer not going to try and let them get away with that. Engage. Another good knock-up onto Light, who just does not get to play the game before he drops through. How much more can Ultra Prime find on the background? Not much with Wonjong not able to claim Tian. Weibo looking for a potential turn of their own here. It is a 4v4 as Wako shoves in that mid-wave. Both teams posturing. Snare landed from Rosie Love. Dredgeline back from Hong. The clone used well. Here's the Pop Blossom. Gonna pick off Hong, and the taunt comes through as well. Great synergy on the CC, and Junhao is released with his reset. Dredgeline gonna go wide here. Has the Heartbreaker. Forces the flash out from Breathe as Weibo do not want to give up any more members. With Xiaohu's damage, they're looking for a turn, and Tian flies in from halfway across the stream. Junhao is down. Xiaohu's flashing forward. They want all the smoke, but they've got a Callista hopping around them. There's no angle out for Xiaohu. He's cut down. Breathe. Oh, the Flame Splitter cannot find these low health bars, and it's Light starting to step up. 1 auto finds Rosie Love, but Saber wants to re-engage with the Abscondum Duck. Does not find it. Breathe has ult coming up, but the Flame Spitter's enough to get it done. Weibo buy their time and find the trade kills, and now it's not where's Waldo, it's where's Wako. He's trying to dash his way from between the waves, gonna get executed to the turret to finish off a wacky fight between our 2 teams.
Oh, where's Wako had a pretty depressing end, but hey, at least it's no gold going over.
And it earns Weibo another game with those upgraded boots.
Yeah, I didn't like that from Ultra Prime. I feel like they need to walk towards that Rift Herald, especially because their Rs are up right now. I don't think this is a terrible timer for them to fight at all, especially if you have Breathe stuck mid. So I think a poor decision there from Ultra Prime. Good punish by Weibo, and the punish might continue as that's a deep TP.
Oh, Breathe, you're asking for the Galioton. He sends himself to death, and it's slower now with the new teleport. Ultra Prime have a man advantage as they look to play for Mountain Soul. They'll be on Soul Point here if they can grab this dragon, and I just don't know if Weibo can find a way in, except for a Tian Steel Masterclass.
Yeah.
He's certainly looking for it.
That TP from Breathe wasn't it, I fear. And now
Rosie Love in the background finds the 3-man Pop Blossom. Sure, Light Cleanse flashes out of it, but he leaves the rest of his crew to reap the benefits of a great setup from Rosie Love. Ultra Prime are going to wipe it. Sure, the dragon gets 1 kill back, but it's an ace for Ultra Prime and Mountain Soul Point as its concierge.
And this really starts from Breathe, overplaying his hand, had no equalizer, TPs into the clutches of Wonjong on this
Another
Galio.
game where Weibo are willing to trade valuable turrets.
Wait, what is going on? We have like multiple recalls being counted. We're just giving this. We're going to 6 grub them instead. We're going to go for double Rift Crash and try and take out 3 turrets to trade for Otacon as Silas going to TP top.
Mid lane, tier 3 turret down. Base broken open by Ultra Prime. Voracious Octagon, you can see the 3 floating red orbs. All of Ultra Prime do have that revive, but as we point out so much,
the Otacon buff on your back, you have a team with even Callista ult and Nico in, Pop Blossom. It's your time to go, man. See what you can get done against Weibo as you try and find this upset.
Zhang only going to test his tanky ability into these 2 AP dealers as he wants to cover the tier 2 turret, but he just gets melted through, gets his revive. Hong on the other side is going to be caught. He doesn't get to go back to base as quickly as possible. Rosie Love finds that kill, but Ultra Prime, they've got waves to worry about. I don't know how much they can really get off of that pick.
We're going to get Soul.
Oh,
that's what they're going for. Especially on a champion like Galio, already have so many resistances, have a magic damage shield, and you're asking a Rumble and a Victor and an MF at this point of the game to get through it. These champions need a little bit more time to get the damage to deal with that. So, again, I think Ultra Prime, next 5-10 minutes of this game, going to be so strong on the map.
Weibo continuing that respect of the engage. They know down a man, they just cannot go into that river. And like you called out, Cubby, the Mountain Soul is giving away the revive. Still got a little bit of life left in it. We'll see how well Ultra Prime wants to use it as Rosie Love. He's disguised as a minion. He's going to flash over Xiaohu. They're going all in for Breathe, and they burn through his health bar. So another pick found by those pivotal ARB keys as they knock down the mid 1 turret behind it as well.
Gonna try and continue the push. Tian will be spotted. He did see the control ward, but doesn't know that he's spotted under a normal ward right now as Ultra Prime. Still impressive for Ultra Prime, and frankly, like already at this point of the series, Ultra Prime is playing this series better than what we thought going in. Like most of us were saying 3-0 Weibo. I was saying 3-1 because it's simply an LPL matchup, and you never know what can happen. So far, Ultra Prime's been playing this real well, and the fight breaks out.
That was a hijacked depth charge onto Hong. It's a taste of his own medicine. They're not able to pick off the Weibo support. Xiaohu going to step up on his own. Light was not there. He's now sprinting his way towards mid lane to catch the wave as Hong does have a catch of his own, but Junhao, maybe not the target he wants as he'll try and return to sender, and Heart breaks him to get the reset. Xiaohu trying to kite back Tian, pulled back in by the stolen Nautilus, and now Xiaohu has no more frontline breather trying to hurdle under their own tier 1 turret, but it's more picks for Ultra Prime, and they're starting to corner and corral the solo lanes for Weibo. The Pop Blossom too low of his health bar for Xiaohu. He goes down. Breathe falls to Wako. It's only Light left up, and the light goes dim. Ace for Ultra Prime and a Baron turn as reward.
And we set up this series talking about jungle support. They're set up really well now with this Baron. They're going to get so much standing gold on the map, and also will have the Baron empowered waves for this Elder Dragon to spawn. So Ultra Prime looking like they can take this series to a 1-1 draw. At this point, they're favored in this game, and Weibo, they need more than just time at this point. They're going to need Ultra Prime to make mistakes.
We do have the tier 3 boots coming through to add to the scaling
Flash,
factor.
though, for the top side of Ultra Prime, especially important on Junhao, as we've seen how important that first reset is in fight. So for me, a lot of eyes on the Viego, and to see if Rosie Love and Junhao can one more time sync up and find a good engage.
Not the greatest equalizer. Tian and Xiaohu are able to just walk that one off as Hong goes for another hook that might just cause his demise. Not in position to go for these plays is Hong, as he is hung out to dry, and it might just really force the Elder issue for Ultra Prime. There we go.
Nautilus moment, man. You're behind. You got no stats, and Hong's in a couple spots that he shouldn't be in, and Ultra Prime is punishing.
They have Ren Smite power, so Tian should have no shot at the steal. He's going to get close enough, but if they time it up right, it should be Elder for Ultra Prime. Bullet Time's coming across. Pop Blossom from Rosie Love is fantastic once again, and with the Elder act to accent it, we are done and dusted with Game 2. Another flawless ace, and Ultra Prime are up 1-1 to shock Weibo Gaming.
Dude, Ultra Prime came to play today, man. Like, Game 1, I don't know if we were really excited enough for what that game was. Kind of my fault, because I was calling out the Ambessa was going to be a game breaker later on. That was the case. But, man, this game, Ultra Prime, they were down 6 grubs. But they stuck to their guns, took these dragons. And Rosie Love and Junhao did a great job of opening up space for their carries with some of these engages. Shout out to Wonjung as well. Really sound on the galley. What was a good game for them. Called it out going into this one, Slayer. If there's any draft that Ultra Prime can try and take a win, I thought. Yeah.
I keep hearing that Talia is pretty potent on this patch from a couple of reliable sources in the NA seed.
Okay, I like that. We'll say that with the earlier side lane's going to be hard for them later on against the Ahri and the Jax. Also the Panth, just to force that. Yeah, I think they do get outscaled. I'm with you on this. Ezreal's like the one hope. And Gragas is just really like the soft counter to try and split things up in fights. But overall, yeah, I do like Weibo's draft.
Tian sets up the charm well through Saber's flash. And Xiaohu positions it perfectly. And the one tried and true thing through 3 games so far, Xiaohu finding himself leads in mid lane.
Yeah, and can't get away from that point and click stun from the Pantheon. No stones able to even be put down by Saber. I don't know if they were on cooldown on the ground or not, but just couldn't react to that one in time. Will be first blood going over.
Tian got that. That is a scuttle for Tian, and now Junhao just might be dead here. Charmful combo. Xiaohu expertly flashes over the seismic shove to grant that second kill for himself. Saber trying to throw those stones back out to get Tian very low. Running out of damage, though. Can he cut down the angle in time? Tian does not have the right turn to go back to, so Saber will find himself a trade, but Xiaohu 2-0 in a pivotal game for Weibo.
I mean, this Ahri really
praised him for his ability to sneakily grab XP
that
in
hurts.
some avenues.
He's down TP, so that's a tempo killer for him.
Saber's just dead.
Yep.
Wow. Rough. It's rougher for Saber.
Yeah, it's not been a good series for Saber so far.
Junhao is right here, so
yeah,
it can really make it difficult to
hold
this.
But if they show on to breathe, that means the grubs are pretty much gone. Because it would be too much time for Junhao to get back. I think that's the bet that Breathe's taking, and we'll see if he can get out.
Yeah, he's really risking it. Flashed for it all. Counter-strike up. Going to get the stun. Hop back over to his pink ward. He's just buying time here. He does get Saber to swing over as well as Junhao gets the kill. Like you pointed out, Cubby opens up the grubs for free for Tian. Oh, grand entrance knockup from Hong. Rosie Love should be safe.
Hong just looking for the poke damage, of course, on Rakan. Those Qs, you can sustain back most of the health that you end up taking, as Q's rather nice 1.1 durability on the Rakan, and making sure that they get the top side prio will be the free first grubs going over to Weibo. This is matched by the Dragon being taken by Junhao.
So big grand entrance knockup. Rosie Love wants the smoke, though, goes right back in onto Hong. Ignite dropped, both supports limping away.
Still, objectives going to be taken. It is Tian that's first on the play with that chunk being up towards the top lane, too. Tian can look to dive. Pantheon, so strong in this early game with that point-and-click stun and the damage you get, especially from that passive. A lot of pressure being put down onto Wako. And those first 3 grubs already being put to use, as that's 4 plates off the top lane turret. A lot of gold in Light's pockets.
Are you trying to go Thimble? It's Thimblewinter, right? That's what I assume Wonjung is gonna burn his. I actually see he's also burned his flash up against Breathe.
Yeah.
So we'll have to monitor that one, as both bottom lanes are still shrugging it out here. Wako and Rosie Love forced back, though, as Rosie Love takes a bit of a chunk engage.
No, So Wonjung has the option between both.
Oh, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Tien, I mean, it's rinse and repeat, deja vu, however you want to describe it. Tien and Xiaohu have marked Saber for death over and over again. Wako, I don't know if you can stay here.
They can't, but Saber has ult. He's trying to make his way up, but this is a Demolish coming through that should pretty much be the turret.
Oh.
We'll see if Saber wants to pop the R, as, yeah, the Grubs end up knocking it down in the end. That's for his first Jax. Is it Fimbulwinter Jax? Or, like, what is going on here?
There's a lot of AP that, you know, he can block off here.
I mean, it's interesting. That said, Grubs are being taken. Probably focus on this.
Ooh, Rosie Love. There's a good solar flare. Tien tries to use his shield to block a ton of damage, but snap engage from Ultra Prime will stop. Too many mites coming out from Weibo Gaming. They'll only have one. 4-2 on the Grub split. Charm going to land there from Xiaohu.
Yeah. I mean, it still is a really good scenario here for Weibo. Like, yes, Tien goes down, but Breed gets all this free time on the bot turret. They had top shoved in, so Saber has to respond. And Weibo, even though they don't get all the Grubs, they lose someone, the pressure's still on. They're playing out their Grub advantage well by pressuring two lanes.
Xiaohu at it again. He is vicious on this Ahri. You could just feel Weibo are angry for dropping that game too, the way they have piloted this early game.
I don't really know what
it will get them a start onto this Infernal Drake. Junhao's got it pretty low. Hong finds it out. Light coming over. This could cost Ultra Prime. They'll secure the Dragon, but their flank is being covered, and Xiaohu is coming in for more kills. First one down on Junhao. Rosie Love should be next to fall. Knock up from Hong, and boy, did that Dragon cost Ultra Prime. It might cost them even more here with Wonjung.
Yeah, he does have flash. No ult, though, and Xiaohu still 3 charges of ult, using them well.
I mean, it's precision execution after precision execution for Tien and Xiaohu. 8 kills, 4K gold lead and more for Weibo.
With Tarzan and finding his way on anyone's legends for this one. And Tien has just done nothing but excellent things in terms of punishing Saber, getting Xiaohu ahead. And
that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, unfortunate.
They've massacred my boy.
You know what? Sometimes they just have to do that to our boys, sadly.
Oh, first Weaver's Wall of the game from Saber. Seismic shove onto Hong, but he's safe. And the Weaver's Wall betrays Saber at the end of the day. He just doesn't get anything for that first ultimate.
If you are Weibo chasing things down, I just don't know how necessary this was. I'm expecting a Fimbulwinter now after that showing, and Fimbulwinter is a really strong item. I think Fimbulwinter is really, really good. So good to see some people putting that in their build path, but I don't know if we need to do it on Jax.
Ooh, Hong caught by another seismic shove. Good engage from Rosie Love, but they just don't have enough juice in the tank, and now the Weibo turn comes out. Junhao does block Xiaohu's charm through the Crescent Guard, but they are not winning the health bar battle, and here comes the Grand Starfall. Tien is flying on in, and Rosie Love's down. Wako has to cleanse one stun, kite himself back, but they leave Saber to the wasteland. Kill secured by Light. Ultra Prime are scattered, and there is just no way for them to find rhythm in this one.
Yeah, Rift Herald should be secured here for Weibo afterwards as a return to form. Really after drop funnel into the rest of the map, and Ultra Prime have not had great responses. Hung, yeah, he's like kind of caught here, but you still have ult, so he just walks on out. The TP from Wonjung is a little bit late, and then with how far behind you are, Tien just gets to open up a beautiful Grand Starfall.
Shot barrage means nothing. I mean, Rosie Love falls for a second time, and Weibo, I think they're starting to limit tests here a bit as you see Hong get caught going a little too far forward, but Weibo still have control of mid lane and that bottom quadrant jungle as they continue to stack advantages and gold and neutral objectives. Ultra Prime looking for a bit of a bite back here. Xiaohu forced to use his quickness, or Spirit Rush, excuse me, to get away from that seismic shove.
That'll do. Now, I'm kind of curious. They're actually hitting the Dragon.
Ooh, Weaver's Wall. It's going to trap Tien, but I don't think Saber wants that smoke. Once again, they just can't really go for these engages. The Ultra Prime are too far behind, and it's allowing for Weibo to just sit back, relax, and claim kill after kill. Next one going to be Wako as he's bopped by the Jax with the Frozen Fists. Wonjong dodging away from these rockets. He'll escape, but it's another win for Weibo. It's been all wins for Weibo in this game 3.
Yeah, again, Ultra, I'm looking at this dragon like, okay, we're hitting this, we're starting this. We sent the support back to base, and that's what we're gonna go off of. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the state of the game that Ultra Prime's in. They're forced to make bad decisions because things are not getting better for them, and things only continue to get better for Weibo as they are too far ahead for Ultra Prime to be taking the fights where they are too far behind. So, top half fall.
And the split push ability of Weibo Gaming.
Yeah, that helps too. That's always nice too.
I'm curious to see here as Ultra Prime are as far behind as they've always been. I'll have to hold that point as we have another grand Starfall. Tien doesn't get stunned up by the Solar Flare and then jumps back in, layering the stuns here. True Shot Barrage rakes across Weibo, taking a ton of damage, but they're able to prevail, and who else but Xiaohu just eviscerating the entire line created by Ultra Prime, and that's a clean as an ace, and the man himself who did it for Weibo Gaming.
All right, Tien MVP or Xiaohu MVP?
I mean, it's 1,000% Xiaohu, and I don't.
Okay. I'm sad for Tien. I feel like I gotta give it to Tien based on the Pantheon, and that's it. Like, this guy picked Pantheon and just went full Mantheon mode as he just destroyed mid and destroyed the game, and Weibo destroyed the base of Ultra Prime before the new Baron could even spawn. Dominating win from them. Valuable against Kindred as well, so they have some control over them despite. And then speaking of displacement, they open up that 5 pick to get Nara a decent matchup. So Nara Udyr will have shove early, but
Barrier, the only summoner that Ultra Prime's bottom lane is going to have access to for a bit here. Heal coming soon for Rosie Love. So Hong's window to really make dividends continues as Hook's going to land through those minions like you talked about, Cubby and Wako. He has Barrier up, but I don't know if they will prevent the first blood. One more rocket. Oh, the Ignite is a tick too short. And Wako once again escapes certain doom. And it's Breathe that's going to fall. First blood. Thought it was gifted a Weibo. It's Ultra Prime that grab it toward.
In experience, you can see almost up a full level after the solo kill from Breathe. Did have 6 to Breathe's 5. Some of that was from the lane swap early on. Breathe stayed mid to soak XP from mid, but missed out on the solo lane. Bot set behind, Wonjong able to cash in. Meanwhile, Rosie Love gonna get chased down.
They're gonna follow it. They're gonna flash. You can tell Hong and Light really wanted to kill finally after coming so close. He did just sprint bot for that dragon like you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm in top lane resources. They matter a lot.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, TP coming in.
Yeah, Junhao flashes over the wall. Lamb's Respite gonna drop as he's the lowest one. Gonna be a man advantage for Weibo as Xiaohu's coming in, and Junhao has to be left to the wolves, or maybe just Tien. Those flashes, man, they're coming off cooldown for these two bottom laners. Breathe is dead. Mini, does it get him executed? All right, I mean, nice. It's costly for the flash, but you at least don't give gold. Rosie Love, that is a Blitzcrank with combos up. He's going to hold the hook, land it. Xiaohu is here. Gifted a free kill onto that scaling Syndra. It's been
for what Bard's worth at 0-2, but man, it didn't look like he got a ton of gold off that kill. Still a freebie, and the important thing, the dragon, why? Feats of strength from picking that up on their own if that does get picked up by Weibo. So, of course, one of the new mechanics of the new season. And at the moment, the Ultra Prime, they realize how dire that second grub could be. Not just that, the fact they're down 0-3, they send a lot of resources up here to try and secure it. We'll see if we get a fight. Tien does have ult up.
Oh, flash right on top of Xiaohu. Gets over the shockwave with his own flash just to get him out of safety, into safety's waiting arms. Hong's hook goes wide. There is a big Bard ultimate to line up onto Light, who has to flash himself back, and Wonjong does not take any damage currently. Hong flashing to safety. Xiaohu now being hunted down by Wonjong's Udyr. Picks up the first kill, but Breathe finds himself a trade with Light behind him. Rocket to the face, and it's Light unleashed. Finally for Weibo Gaming. Couple more rockets could find the kills onto Bull, Saber, and Wako, but they limp away to save.
This is where things get big, because Breathe actually able to sneak in here, finds the engage, syncs up with Light, takes down a few, and Wonjong nowhere to help heal for his backline that was already in tough shape, and ends up going down as he overextends himself. A lot of gold goes over to Tien off that.
The Grubs do split 3-3, so nobody gets that. It's actually a monster gain for Ultra Prime as a Hong hook throws Wonjong under the turret. Luckily, he's the tankiest member of Ultra Prime and walks away limping, but to survive. So Oh, Rocket downtown. That is online, and Light has arrived to the series. We've been asking for that big-time AD carry moment. Might be this game, but a Tempered Fate from Lozilov is going to stun up too. Hong, the target of most of the damage, gets another good Braum stun, or Bard stun from Love. So trade back, a bit of revenge there for Ultra Prime support.
Still, a lot of this, I mean, there was a war for first brick. Yes, blood does go over in favor of Ultra Prime, but that brick went over in favor of Weibo. Again, important for the feats of strength, as they already have 2 out of the 3 monster objectives secured. So any more that go over to them is big. And Junhao, you know, that red buff looked tasty. It actually went over to white, which is a bummer.
Well,
we should...
Another turret going down. Just what Weibo have been dominating the most at this series is turret destruction. It's a daunting task to even find any damage onto this Jinx with the comp they've drafted.
Yeah, I mean, that's very fair. Kind of why they have to neutralize it with the Udyr, you know?
Yeah.
Him just being as tanky as he is he's going to get the flash from Hong. That is a valuable flash, as Blitz can do a lot of unique plays with that. And Herald will be picked up, so feats of strength will be decided by the next monster objective. That said, Breathe.
Turret, though.
Yeah, traded it out far in this series. I don't love this one for them.
Yeah, Xiaohu needed an extra wave to even get this tier 1 turret down. Wonjung will fly over to catch the wave. He does have teleport. A lot of pings coming down towards this bottom river. Xiaohu going to take a very key reset to grab some items. Already have Breathe channeling his teleport, so now Weibo are going to make the big-time commitment to play for this.
And maybe they want to force the fight, so like that's why they didn't just take it to trade it. That's one like path of logic I can see, because they were looking for the fight on top side too. And wow, looks like this is going to be uncontested. Yeah. So I will say that at least with Jinx passive, like there is an on-hit feature to Hull Breakers, so you can utilize that. Just Jinx gets a lot of attack speed from her Q if you are in minigun, and the AoE Q is nice too, but. End up seeing if it gets any use in the team fight at the moment, getting use against the Otacon, as this is being taken very close to spawn.
This is what we were expecting when Otacon spawns. Ultra Prime teleporting up here to stop the take. Otacon at about half HP, going to reset.
Oh, Breathe yoinked it.
Oh, Breathe did yoink it. Good spot.
Yeah.
Another voracious Otacon, by the way. Ooh, there's a stun, and bye-bye Wako. Okay, good use of the Feather Storm. Nerfs the damage of Unleashed Power. 2 key ultimates traded, though. Tempered Fate, Xiaohu has to commit the flash to get over it.
We'll say if we're going to fight the objective now, I think a lot of times burning flashes to get engaged spells out is good. Just the struggle at the moment is they do see Wako. He's yet to reset, and for me, that's really where Weibo should think about starting this.
Here we go. How quickly can they get Light that first kill? Breathe! Flying on in for a big gnarl. Does not line it. Tien is chasing down Wako, who has no way to dodge out on the paranoia damage. And Light is untouched. Sure, you throw down the Lamb's Respite, but it just sets up the meat grinder that is Light. Couple rockets later.
Engage, but Wako not resetting puts him in such a tough spot for this fight. He is completely taken out of it by Tien. And then look at this TP. Xiaohu went to...
While we watch that replay, breaking down the fight, Weibo secured the revive Otacon, so they'll use that to be ever as aggressive. Feel confident just starting up this dragon, mowing through it on their own.
Consequences. Let's go, man. Let's get in there.
I mean, if you die, and if 3 of you die and you get 2 kills, that's a positive gold trade with the new buff. Tempered Fate not going to find Light. We talked about that being the only way to really cut down the distance to get towards Light. And his buzzsaw of a Jinx at this point. It doesn't help Ultra Prime that they already bled so many turrets earlier on. They've got bot waves shoving into inhibitor turrets. Mid-tier 2 soon to fall as well. Just a masterclass. Weibo have really woken up since dropping game 2.
Yeah, really like the reduces the slow when you have Swifties. And also with the feats of strength, extra power for Swifties grants you extra move speed when I believe you do damage or heal someone. So really, really useful on Blitzcrank. It really helps keep that threat of the Rocket Crab up at all times. Underutilized, given its price and just how valuable move speed can be in games. So good to see it on a champ that gets a lot of value out of it, like Blitzcrank. Pop it here.
What's using that Hex Flash? Poking, prodding, seeing what Ultra Prime will give him for openings. Light, by the way, does have the Runins done. Is one job. Good use of the ramp stance once more. Nerfs the hook from Blitzcrank. Breathe and Mega might look to get a little crazy here. They don't have the Octagon revive. Does jump into Junhao. Forces the flash out of him. That's a well-timed blast cone, though, as Breathe gets to safety. Lights go out. Where's Tien going? While he's going for the one guy they cornered. Wanzhong left by his team. Dropped off the tanky member for Ultra Prime down. And Weibo looking for more here. With Baron available up towards that top river. Tempered Fate down. Does get Light into the Shockwave. Will not find Light. Perfectly timed flash. Another double Bardstone. Wako's going to step up, try to get all this feather damage through, but it's just not enough to make a difference and convert picks into kills. Snare onto Hong, and the fight fizzles out, and Weibo now can freely turn onto Baron.
Yeah, I mean, while that was going on, Breathe picked up top inner, picked up Mega, and now Baron's just being focused down. Health bar is gone here for Ultra Prime, so that skirmish, while Ginks, like, hey, strong backline, already have peel, let's find some pieces to put around it. I feel like the few mix and mashing of pieces we saw from Weibo in the back half are pretty good.
Where is Hong? Where is Xiaohu? All right, we're getting a little crazy with it. Nobody near them. Xiaohu shut down. Wanzhong cutting off Light from really stepping up to try and find these trade kills. It's Tien that forces out the Lamb's Respite, so Junhao should survive. Breathe, I still don't understand how Breathe survived this long. Might actually get a kill onto Saber. Tien dies and falls, but it sets up who else but Light. Hits the zap as a fadeaway after nailing down the Udyr. And 1, 2, 3, zap again. Not going to land, but Light is forcing all of Ultra Prime back. We were waiting for the Light special, the difference maker. And boy, has he shown up when it mattered most here. Supers with Baron pouring into the Ultra Prime base, and Light's looking for more.
Yeah, I have no idea how Weibo found themselves at where they were at the start of the fight, but at least their wallets helped them get to the back half of the fight, as not exactly sure what motivated him to do that. But hey, you know what? Respect to Breathe. He followed up the team captain of Midnight, and he was like, if my mid's doing something crazy, I'm going to do something crazy too.
Ocean Soul for Weibo. It feels like the final nails in the coffin for Ultra Prime are soon inbound. Down over 10K gold.
You know what, Slayer? I figured it out. They got Wako's flash out before the Baron fight. They thought it was still down. It's got to be it.
Oh, Rocket. Oh, barely goes wide. And Tien takes a ton of damage here. Lamb's Respite out. Healing comes across, and Saber's just deleted it. Xiaohu pressing R, and now the finishing touches are put down by Weibo Gaming in the form of rocket barrages from Light over and over and over again. He nearly executes Wako in his own fountain. This matchup started out as a love story on social media, but ends in a heartbreaking breakup as Weibo claim the series.